Good morning. Can everyone hear me? All right, we are going to start by, I'm going to show my screen real quick. Okay, can everyone see my screen? If you're having issues, you can type something in the chat. All right, well, good morning, and my name is Danielle. We are going to be going over in iSolved the navigation of the employee management screen, how to add a new hire, 2 different ways, changing pay rates, tax information, direct deposits. So I'm going to give it just a couple more minutes for everybody to jump on. If you guys have questions during the presentation, you can go ahead and type those into the chat and we will revisit those at the end. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. So you can see I've logged into iSolved and I'm on my company home screen. So under employee management, the first screen we're going to look at is employee summary. Employee summary is going to give a list of your employees. Up here at the top, we can sort if we have multiple legal companies. We can sort by pay group if you have a weekly and a bi-weekly, or maybe you have a semi-monthly payroll, or maybe you have separate pay groups if you separate your hourly and salaried people by pay group. We can sort by active, inactive, terminated, or all. And we can sort by our employee type, hourly, salary, 1099s. Once we select what we would like to view, we want to make sure we hit our apply button, and that will apply our filter. If you want to clear your filter, you can hit your reset button. So once you select an employee, you will be taken to just their summary page here, and each title here is a hyperlink. So if you weren't really sure where their tax information lived, you could just click on federal filing status, and it's going to take you to that page. We're going to go back to employee summary. The same for their pay information. We can click on their salary, going to take us to their pay screen. Also, you can toggle between employees up here at the top. You can go to the next employee, and then this button here takes you back to your list. So we're going to move on to adding a new employee through the new hire wizard. This is one of two ways. We're going to walk through new hire wizard and also quick hire. New hire wizard is going to take you page by page in a wizard type format. Anything that has an asterisk by it is a required field. We want to make sure that we have an accurate hire date, because this is going to drive when their pay is effective. So if your hire date falls outside of your pay period, then it will not pay that employee. So we're going to say that our new hire started April 20th. And this auto-populates the employee number. You can change that if you go by a different system. Your employee category, you're going to choose full-time or part-time. And then if you use timekeeping, a time clock ID may be required. That is not the case this time. And then we want to make sure we check the box to include in the new hire reporting the ID type. If it is a 1099, you would use an EIN if they use that. But for most employees, we're going to use Social Security number. You do not have to include your dashes. It will put them in for you. We're going to type in our first name. You can use the preferred name field if they go by something else. Say he likes to go by Chris. Middle name is not required. Our last name. And then we have self-service email. So self-service email is going to be the email that they use to log into their self-service, which is where they access their pay stubs generally. We can talk about that in a different video. So if they do not have an email, you will need to uncheck this enable self-service access, because an email is going to be required if this box is checked. Once you save this record, if there is an email in here and the box is checked to enable self-service access, it is going to automatically on save send them an email to register for self-service access. Marital status, you can see it's not required. An address. And you can see it asks for a zip code first. When you type in your zip code, it is going to generate your city and your state. If the zip code falls within a city that has a local or a township, it may ask you to select. If there are multiple options for that zip code, it will ask you to select which one applies. Birth date. Then you can see gender and military status. Those are not required. So once we've filled out everything for our general information, we go to next. This is, you can see personal information, and these are categorized by what we've seen on our summary page. Personal information, you can include multiple phone numbers, a fax number, and then a personal email. This personal email does not drive that self-service, but if there's another email that they would rather use, you can include that here. If you require I-9, you can enter that information here. Yet again, it's not a required field. And if you do EEO reporting, that is also an option on this side of the screen. None of these are required fields, so we're going to go to next. This is going to bring us to our salary page. If you have multiple pay groups, you want to be sure to select the correct one. Pay type, we are going to have hourly. In our hourly rate, we are going to select $19 an hour, and this will populate here. If we would have chose salary, we can enter an annual salary. You can see their normal hours populate based on their pay frequency. If we were to choose semi-monthly, our normal hours changes. So if we would like to type in an annual salary, it's going to calculate our per pay salary for us. Job, if you have jobs set up, or if you use workers' comp codes, you can pull those in here. If you have any type of alternative pay rate, those can be added here, or you can add new. Again, these are not required fields. I'm going to next. This will bring us to our tax screen. Our resident location generates off of the zip code that we provided on our address. iSolved uses a, they call it the vertex. So it has all of the tax information built out into the system, which is really nice. We have to select a work location. Some of them may just have one. This one has multiple. We're going to say he works in Evansville, Indiana. If there were any applicable school districts or reciprocity rules, we could select those here. Federal income tax. Select what they fill out on their W-4. If they mark the box for exempt, you would check this box here to block all federal taxes. That's only if they mark exempt on their W-4. Here we can put our exemptions, and then any additional withholdings that they would like on top of that. We can choose dollars or percent. You can see our Illinois state income tax populated based off of our zip code that we provided for the resident location. You can type in our exemptions here. Any additional exemptions or additional dollar amounts or percentages that we would like to include. So because we had selected Illinois as the resident location, but they work in Indiana, you can see that it has populated for us to fill out the Indiana state income withholding also. If they work and live in the same place, which is going to be the case for most, then we would just have one option. Going to our next screen. This is organization fields if they have locations or departments set up. This one is a required field in this demo account, so we're going to pick office. Brings us to our direct deposit screen. We want to choose active, choose our account type. If they only have one account, we want to be sure that it is remaining net. We always have to have a remaining net. So if they have two accounts, one will be one in our sequence. So say we want $25. We're going to put that into our savings account. Here you would enter your routing number and account number. In a description, you can put the bank name. That the description is not required. And then we want to add new. And then we want our remaining net to go into our checking account. If we only had one, we would just want it to be remaining net with our routing and account number. And then we are finished. Click Save. And we have completed the new hire wizard. Next, we're going to go to Quick Hire. Because it has started a new one, it's going to prompt us to ask us if we want to leave this page. Okay, for our Quick Hire, it has all of the same information. It's just on one page altogether. So you're going to have the same required fields, all the same information, and the same categories. It's just all going to live on one page. So it's completely your preference of which one that you use. If you like to walk through step by step each page individually or all in one. So under employee management and employee maintenance, we have our general screen. Here it gives us a list of employees to choose from. And this is where we see and we can edit the new hire that we just entered. So say we want to add a self-service email for them now. They've gotten back to us and we want to go ahead and add that. And click Enable Self-Service and save. And that is going to send them their registration email. If we need to add a new direct deposit, we can navigate to employee maintenance. The quick way, if we go to employee summary, and we can use our link to change their hourly rate. So when changing a pay rate, we want to be sure that we add a new record. This is to keep historical records. So instead of edit, we want to click add new and say we're going to increase their annual salary to $100,000. You can see it shows us what our increase percentage is. It's going to take effect on 4/1, and then it breaks it out for you. We always want to do a new record so we have that historical documentation. Okay, back to the direct deposit. We can navigate to employee management, employee pay. Here we can click salary if we would like to go to our salary screen, or direct deposit. Here we can add new if they wanted to add a savings account or a checking account. This is where you would add that. If you needed to change their tax information, that's under employee management, employee pay, tax information. And here, so they would rather claim single zero. We would make that change and we would hit save. Here under employee pay, we can also see earnings, deductions, their garnishments, and then their direct deposit screen again. Okay, do we have any questions from anybody? Or anything you would like me to go over again? If you have questions, you can type it in the chat. Okay, if no one has any questions, then I'm going to log off. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and please reach out if you would like to go over anything else. Thank you.